The silence is deafening, a heavy blanket that suffocates the soul. A lone figure stands at the edge of a cliff, the wind whipping hair into a frenzy as eyes gaze out at the vast expanse of the horizon. The sky is a deep, foreboding gray, with clouds that seem to swirl and twist in every direction. The figure's hands are clenched into fists, the knuckles white with tension, as if holding onto something precious, something that threatens to slip away at any moment. The air is crisp and clean, filled with the scent of salt and the distant tang of smoke. In the distance, the ruins of a city stretch out, a bleak and barren landscape of shattered concrete and twisted metal. The figure's gaze is drawn to the devastation, the eyes burning with a mix of sadness and anger. The wind howls through the desolation, a mournful cry that seems to echo the figure's own sense of loss and despair. The figure's chest rises and falls with each breath, the only sound in a world that seems to have been stripped of all noise, all joy. The figure's eyes drop, gazing down at the rough, rocky ground beneath their feet. A small, delicate flower pushes its way up through a crack in the stone, its petals a vibrant, defiant yellow. The figure's gaze lingers on the flower, a sense of wonder creeping into the eyes, a sense of hope that seems to falter in the face of the overwhelming destruction that surrounds them. Memories of laughter and sunshine flood the mind, memories of a time when the world was a brighter, more vibrant place. A young pilot, full of life and idealism, standing alongside his comrades, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The smell of freshly cut grass and the sound of birds singing fill the air, a sense of peace and contentment that seems to belong to another lifetime. The pilot's eyes sparkle with excitement, his smile wide and carefree as he prepares to take to the skies, to soar through the clouds and feel the rush of adrenaline that comes with flying. The pilot's family gathers around, proud and supportive, their faces filled with love and admiration. The pilot's mother hands him a small leather-bound book, her eyes shining with tears. The pilot's father places a hand on his shoulder, his voice filled with emotion as he offers words of encouragement and advice. The pilot's younger sister looks up at him with wide, adoring eyes, her small hand clutching a handmade sign that reads, "Good luck, brother," in bold, colorful letters. The pilot's comrades gather around, a sense of camaraderie and shared purpose that binds them together. They exchange jokes and stories, their laughter and banter filling the air, as they prepare to face whatever dangers lie ahead. The pilot feels a sense of belonging, of being part of something bigger than himself, something that gives his life meaning and direction. The day of the mission arrives, the pilot's heart racing with anticipation and nerves. The briefing is concise, and to the point, the mission objectives clear and straightforward. The pilot feels a sense of focus, of determination, as he prepares to take to the skies, to do his duty and protect his country. But as he looks around at his comrades, he sees the doubt and uncertainty in their eyes, the fear and the moral ambiguity that hangs over them like a cloud. The mission unfolds, the pilot's senses on high alert as he navigates the treacherous skies. The roar of the engines, the rush of the wind, the smell of fuel and sweat fill the air as the pilot pushes his plane to the limit, dodging and weaving through the enemy's defenses. But as he approaches the target, he sees the faces of the innocent, the women and children, the civilians who are caught in the crossfire. The pilot's heart falters, his conscience screaming in protest, as he realizes the true horror of what he is being asked to do. The pilot's hand hesitates, his finger hovering over the trigger as he weighs the consequences of his actions. The world seems to slow down, the only sound the pounding of his heart as he grapples with the moral implications of his mission. The pilot's eyes lock onto the face of a young girl, her eyes wide with fear, her small body trembling with terror. The pilot's mind rebels, his sense of decency and compassion warring with his duty and loyalty. The moment of truth arrives, the pilot's decision made in a split second. The consequences unfold. The aftermath of the mission, a blur of chaos and confusion. The pilot's world is shattered, his sense of identity and purpose lost as he grapples with the repercussions of his actions. The pilot's eyes are haunted, his soul tormented as he struggles to come to terms with what he has done. The days turn into weeks, The weeks turn into months as the pilot struggles to find his place in a world that seems to have moved on without him. The silence is oppressive, a heavy weight that presses down upon his chest, making it hard to breathe. The pilot's eyes are sunken, his face gaunt, his skin pale and drawn as he wanders through the desolate landscape, searching for a sense of purpose, a sense of redemption. The pilot's memories haunt him, the faces of the innocent etched into his mind, the sound of their screams echoing through his dreams. The pilot's hands are clenched into fists, his body tense, his mind racing, as he tries to make sense of the chaos that surrounds him. The pilot's heart is heavy, his soul weighed down, as he grapples with the guilt and the shame that threaten to consume him. The pilot's eyes drop, gazing down at the small, delicate flower that pushes its way up through the crack in the stone. The pilot's gaze lingers, a sense of wonder creeping into his eyes, a sense of hope that seems to falter in the face of the overwhelming destruction that surrounds him. The pilot's hand reaches out, his fingers brushing against the pedals, as he feels a sense of connection, a sense of peace that seems to elude him. A figure approaches, a stranger with a kind face and a gentle smile. The stranger's eyes are warm, their voice soft, as they speak words of comfort and understanding. The pilot's gaze rises, his eyes locking onto the stranger's, as he feels a sense of connection, a sense of hope that seems to grow. The stranger's hand reaches out, their fingers brushing against the pilot's, as they offer a sense of peace, a sense of redemption that seems to be within reach. The pilot's eyes drop, gazing down at the ground, as he feels a sense of acceptance, a sense of resolution that seems to wash over him. The pilot's body relaxes, his mind calming, as he lets go of the guilt and the shame that have haunted him for so long. The pilot's heart is light, his soul at peace, as he feels a sense of forgiveness, a sense of redemption that seems to be his. The pilot's eyes rise, his gaze locking onto the horizon, as he feels a sense of hope, a sense of purpose that seems to be waiting for him. A fighter's requiem. The sun casts its pale light upon the desolate landscape, a barren expanse of rock and sand that stretches as far as the eye can see. A lone figure stands atop a rugged outcropping, gazing out at the horizon with eyes that seem to hold 1,000 unspoken sorrows. His shoulders slump, as if the weight of the world has been placed upon them, and his feet are rooted to the spot as if unable to move forward. The wind whispers secrets in his ear, its gentle caress a stark contrast to the turmoil that churns within his mind. As he stands there, the silence is broken only by the soft rustle of the wind through the rocks, a sound that echoes the quiet desperation that fills his heart. His eyes, once bright and full of life, now seem dull and lifeless, like two stars that have been extinguished by the cruel hand of fate. His face, etched with the lines of time and experience, tells the story of a man who has seen the worst of humanity and has been forever changed by it. The memories of his past swirl around him like a maelstrom, each one a painful reminder of the choices he has made and the lives he has touched. He thinks of the days when he was a young pilot, full of life and idealism, ready to take on the world and make a difference. He remembers the thrill of soaring through the skies, the rush of adrenaline as he pushed his plane to its limits, and the sense of camaraderie that came with being part of a tight-knit team. But most of all, he remembers the families, the friends, and the loved ones who had supported him every step of the way, their smiles and laughter a beacon of hope in a world torn apart by conflict. As the memories wash over him, his mind begins to wander to the fateful mission that changed everything. The smell of smoke and fuel fills his nostrils, and the sound of gunfire and explosions echoes through his mind. He sees the faces of the innocent, their eyes wide with fear as they flee from the destruction that he had helped to unleash. The weight of his guilt is crushing, a physical force that presses down upon him, making it hard to breathe. He feels the rough texture of the rocks beneath his feet, the cold wind on his skin, and the bitter taste of regret that lingers on his lips. The world around him fades away, and all that is left is the darkness of his own mind. He is trapped in a prison of his own making, tormented by the ghosts of his past. The silence is oppressive, a heavy blanket that suffocates him, and the only sound is the beating of his own heart, a reminder that he is still alive, still breathing, still feeling. He thinks of the words of a wise old man who once told him that the greatest battle is not the one fought with guns and bombs, but the one fought with the heart and the mind. As he stands there, lost in the depths of his own despair, a small flower catches his eye. It blooms in the crack of a rock, its delicate petals a vibrant splash of color in a world gone gray. The flower is a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always a way forward. Its beauty is a balm to his soul, a gentle touch that soothes the rough edges of his heart. He reaches out a trembling hand, hesitant to touch the flower, as if it might disappear at any moment, leaving him once again alone in the darkness. The flower's fragrance wafts up, a sweet and gentle scent that fills his senses and transports him to a different time and place. He remembers the smell of his mother's garden, the way the flowers would bloom in the spring, and the joy that it brought him as a child. The memory is a painful reminder of all that he has lost, but it is also a reminder of the beauty and wonder that still exists in the world. As he breathes in the scent of the flower, he begins to feel a sense of peace, a sense of calm that washes over him like a cool breeze on a summer's day. The silence is broken by the sound of footsteps, the soft crunch of gravel beneath the feet of a stranger. The pilot's eyes narrow, his mind on high alert as he turns to face the newcomer. The stranger's face is etched with lines of kindness and compassion, and his eyes seem to hold a deep understanding of the pilot's pain. He approaches slowly, his movements gentle, as if he is afraid of startling the pilot, of shattering the fragile peace that has begun to form. The pilot's heart is racing, his senses on high alert, as he waits for the stranger to speak, to offer words of comfort, or perhaps to condemn him for his sins.